jump on into it. Or even give you a chance to speak. In the bottom right-hand corner, the red Protoss player from Storm. It is MaxPax. Everything just happens so quick when we come back, man, you know? We're just ready to go.
I know, it's like we're in the countdown coming back. Like, no halt on this train, you know? And spawning over top left, representing Berlin International Gaming, it is ShoWTimE.
ShoWTimE.
But, so what do I think? I mean, of all Protoss in this region that can give MaxPax trouble, I do think ShoWTimE is pretty damn high on the list, right? Like, he's been pretty much the go-to Protoss for a long time in the European region. Like, he's been the guy that used to fight with the greats of old, like the Snoots of the world and stuff, the Nurchios, and now he fights with the greats nowadays, like the Reynas, the Serals. But he's got young MaxPax to go up against, and MaxPax, he's been such a beast in PvP. Granted, there has been a meta shift, but whenever there is a shift, MaxPax might not be the first to get the best, but you can bet your ass that at some point he's going to start figuring things out and start making it look like that's the way to play. And sometimes he's the only one capable of doing it. So ShoWTimE and him will be going for that low ground expansion here, which this is kind of MaxPax's playground, but ShoWTimE, it's not as if he's a foreigner to this at all. Like, he's also exceptionally good at this.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is, to be fair, this is also that one map with a ramp on it, right? So this is obviously more normal to do when it comes to PvP, because you've got that ramp to play defensive with. So this is at least going to be the case of everyone is kind of looking at it and saying, hey, you know what? We are in a situation here where we can all expand. No one should really be able to get too aggressive against anyone else. Not going to see Stargate's piece first, and that's scary, because this could turn into Phoenix versus Phoenix. And that, when these two are playing, really kind of hinges on a knife's edge, because you will see MaxPax play very aggressively with those Phoenix. He will try and camp the Stargate. He will have confidence to be across the map despite being a Phoenix down due to reinforcing distance. He's just that good at it, so it's always interesting to see it when it goes to Phoenix on Phoenix. I always think back to some of the games I saw in the past. It could go any way, though. It's not like ShoWTimE's never won Phoenix on Phoenix against MaxPax. It's a fun one to watch. I'm just genuinely really excited for this PvP. I feel like there's so much potential to see cool games.
Yeah, it's one of those where, even though I'm sat casting it, I almost feel like I'm sat here with my bag of popcorn ready to just enjoy it, you know, soak it up. And Phoenix, this isn't something you see every day. It's something that absolutely you can do and really lean into. But very often, once you see your opponent doing it, you see like, all right, they'll go into Blink Stalkers, then into other things, and, you know, we're playing a different game, where they both go, hey, I'm up to the challenge. I know what you're doing. You know what I'm doing. Let's go, go, go. I love that. I absolutely do. MaxPax will start a second gateway nice and early in this kind of situation. Damage done on both ends. ShoWTimE does get, what was it, a Zealot in the middle of the map for his trouble there. Not much in it, to say the least.
Yeah. Clean up this probe, which is actually good to get rid of, because probes on the other side of the map at this point can make buildings, which, if we're going to play Phoenix on Phoenix, no one's going to have anything to actually kill off buildings. So that is a bit of a factor, as obviously this is getting a little intriguing, because just the second Stargate is finishing soon from MaxPax. ShoWTimE only just started his second Stargate, so there is going to be a disparity between the guys in terms of where we're at the moment.
Yeah, there is. Like, MaxPax is going to have more production available, and can he use it? Apparently, yes, he can. He does have 2 Phoenix in production. So ShoWTimE, by the looks of things, he's going for the 4th gas a little bit faster. So maybe in his mind, depending on how this goes, might go for a slightly quicker fleet beacon, but have the lower count on the Phoenix early on. There's a lot of things to think about, because Fleet Beacon, it's expensive, man. In fact, let me just confirm. I remember it being like 300 minerals, 200 gas. It still is. The upgrade as well on top of that is, what, 150?
Yeah.
Long time to get online as well. So if you do go straight for that, you can absolutely be outnumbered. Now, MaxPax does go for his 4th gas here quite a bit later, but he is very ever so slightly leading on the Phoenix production.
Yeah, he's about 1 ahead, but he can't build as constantly as ShoWTimE can, I think. So it's pretty close overall. It's just that slight difference of when they've gotten that extra Stargate up, as we are going to take that moment. That's a big deal, actually, getting rid of that Adept without having to do anything. Now we're going to trade in. It's a Phoenix for a Phoenix. Again, the Adept is big because it just gets rid of that before the Phoenix shot. If you lift the Adept, you shoot at the Adept, and then your other Phoenix, the opponent's Phoenix, shoot at your Phoenix, you're then down a volley in the fight. That's really bad for you. So it was actually important that ShoWTimE, he got that Adept and then got away before anything happened. In the end, they traded Phoenix for a Phoenix. Now it's a Fleet Beacon and a piece. We are going to see a third base from MaxPax as well, but I think ShoWTimE is very much so coming to catch up on that.
Yeah, indeed. ShoWTimE's had continuous Phoenix production since having the 2. And he did have his 4th gas a little bit earlier. A tiny lead as well on the Fleet Beacon. So all things considered, they're both in very, very similar positions. But I think ShoWTimE's way of doing things works out a tiny bit better by the looks of it. But I mean, everything is neck and neck between them, isn't it? Pulse Crystals does start off as soon as the Fleet Beacon is done. MaxPax can't quite afford it just yet. Okay, starts it now, but the Chrono Boost race is upon us. Both of players are Chrono Boosting the absolute living, out of it. And yeah, that coming online a good 10-15 seconds faster for ShoWTimE. If he picks the right fight, that could be absolutely crucial.
Yep, the jump with Phoenix range is a big deal. It absolutely is. With Phoenix can't be equal. If you just get a shot off earlier than your opponent, or you get in range and can keep that distance where you're able to shoot, but your opponent can't shoot you. So this gives you the opportunity right now, ShoWTimE, to go on the map and to try and take advantage of this. So I'm 100% behind that. I think that's the right call. See how it goes, as he is going to get the fight. He gets a Phoenix, but he isn't going to be able to chase much further now the range is done for MaxPax.
That's already a decent deal, though. Like, he knew it came online a bit quicker. Gets a few probes for his troubles as well. What was that? Maybe a little Adept. Resources lost tab. Definitely a little bit healthier for ShoWTimE here. 400 to 975. And the Phoenix, remember, he's killed a couple. Like, some of these things have been very, very good for ShoWTimE thus far. A mothership for MaxPax here. A mothership for ShoWTimE. Oi, oi, oi. Both these players so neck and neck here on their choices.
Yep. I mean, it is. I mean, they just both understand how to play this. This is dangerous, though, because ShoWTimE is going to have one of his Phoenix accepted. I kind of thought that maybe MaxPax could wrap around, and that forces ShoWTimE to come back through him to fight, which would have been okay for MaxPax because he's being closer. But, I mean, again, it's just neck and neck. And we see a robo from ShoWTimE. So we're going to start to see a bit of a difference now. As MaxPax adds on that carrier, Phoenix shots wasted on the carrier / interceptors. Is damage done that isn't onto the other Phoenix, but then the robo of ShoWTimE is really fascinating. But he's going to try and tech up in a different way, but also adding a third Stargate. Very cool.
It really is. This is a very cool game. Like, getting the robo as well, that will help with the detection when it comes to mothership stuff. But carrier, so cool. Like, this absolutely, like, that's a massive investment from MaxPax to be getting online now. Both getting the Sentry out as well. You might be like, what's that for? Guardian Shield. Very, very good in these kind of situations where there's so much fast attacking in the air. Phoenix having 2 shots and dealing a lot of extra damage to light. What a funky game.
I find it so fascinating that ShoWTimE builds the robo just to get an ops out. Like, I understand obviously information is critical, but like, I'm just so surprised that we're gonna go build an observer, although I guess if you can kind of keep that vision up, then that's still pretty decent, like not having to have an oracle to revelate like MaxPax is now going into. I guess because of the mothership, right? Because you're gonna have that cloaking, so it's funky because obviously by going for the observer, it's almost less reliable in my eyes than the oracle, because at least once the oracle drops revelation, it's guaranteed. You have detection for X amount of time. The moment you lose that observer during the fight, suddenly you don't see things while it's cloaked. That could be very scary. That could be very dangerous. So I feel like that's walking a bit of a fine line at the moment.
It really is. It really is. We do see multiple cybernetics cores here for ShoWTimE popping off. So he's getting the armor, he's getting the attack, he's also getting the plasma shields on that forge as well. He is getting a couple of observers out. Carrier count is leading for MaxPax, both on 3 Stargates. In fact, MaxPax on 4 here. Also getting all the same upgrades at very similar times. These lads have mapped this out, and they are doing it in the best way they know how. Worker count 83 to 80 very close. ShoWTimE very quick to start that +2 air weapons this game as well upon finishing it, and some cannons going down as well defensively.
Yeah, I mean, we're at this point, right, where we just continue to extend into the later and deeper parts of the game. We're getting mass carriers, we continue with the upgrades, we are going to get, you know, static defense on the bases as well. We can just afford all of this. It's 80 workers apiece. I mean, this hallucinate oracle's going to fly around, just looking to scout it. It's going to get intercepted, we won't see too much. Yeah, I mean, this is just a standoff. We're about to max out, and then we might start to see some fights. But the problem is, whoever's being the aggressor is generally going to be worse for wear, because they're going to attack into a defensive setup, likely with static defense. So, do we ever see a fight? I don't know, man.
And even if you do take a fight, like, is it one of those where you kind of posture forward with shield batteries and stuff, you know, just to help out a little bit? I mean, damage is done so damn fast in these fights. ShoWTimE is now up to 5 gateways, or rather 5 stargates, beg your pardon. So he's getting a lot of those carriers still online, expanding a tiny bit faster than his opponent as well.
I think ShoWTimE in general is just being a tiny bit faster. And you just got the Twilight counts up, enabling +2 shields to be researched, which is funny.
8 carriers for MaxPax right now, it's insane.
Yeah, 8 but then I guess he's also still got 3 on the way. I mean, this kind of comes down to kind of composition in a way, right? Because there's also going to be a few more Phoenix for ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE, I think, is going to give up some Phoenix so he can build more carriers. And he's going to do it by getting rid of a whole bunch of probes. So he's going to hit the economy. And then, like I say, probably just be okay with these Phoenix going down, because it gives him free supply to build carriers. And that clearly is the way this game is going, more so than just Phoenix on Phoenix at this stage.
Yeah, I don't even mind the trade out so much. I thought maybe going for the gas dues just to mess things up a little bit might be the play, but yeah, now MaxPax is like, you know what, I'm gonna move across the map. Like, that was obvious what you were doing there. Upgrades are sort of close. ShoWTimE slightly leading on that front, but that is an army and a half. Like, you have to be so careful about not having your interceptors out in a fight, because the guy with all his interceptors out against the guy that don't, I tell you what, brutal. And he's actually killing his own probes here. I don't know if that was to have interceptors out a little bit, or whether he just, I think it's mainly because he wants carriers, but
yeah, I think it's just, again, freeing up more supply. And because you can see MaxPax, he obviously lost probes and he never replaced them. You know, because he just wants as much army supply as possible. Here we go, we're going to commit to this fight. Revelation is down. The Time Warps came in as well, as we are going to be seeing this army continue to fight it out. It's MaxPax who's absolutely plummeting when it comes to supply. The mothership is gone. The carriers are still getting to town, and this is absolutely just all about ShoWTimE. Honestly, hard to tell you what really happened in this fight, because it was a complete mess, but it does go ShoWTimE's way.
I mean, it goes massively his way, doesn't it? Like, every carrier falling, like, he just shift-clicked all those down. GG is called. I can't tell you exactly what happened. It just felt like ShoWTimE's units just did way more damage than MaxPax's, and he was far more prepared for that. He really focused down those carriers like crazy. I was going to say like 1-0 then, but I know Kevin's out there somewhere making fun of everything that I say. So I didn't. But cool game. It's not often you see that kind of matchup. I almost want to watch that in slow motion just to see why ShoWTimE had such a lead in that fight.
Yeah, I'm absolutely going to be watching it back on the stream in a minute, because it didn't. I mean, it felt like MaxPax got the jump on ShoWTimE. He dropped Time Warps, he got the cloaking down, and so on. I mean, it kind of feels like it must have just come down to the targeting, right? I don't think our carrier count was like super far apart.
I think so. I think it's also like, obviously targeting down carriers one by one and making sure you shift click them down, as opposed to like re-clicking a new target. Then the interceptors don't move away very far and stuff. I will keep my eye on it. I'm even checking, like, MaxPax did have sentries in his army to guard in shield. Maybe the Time Warp was just way better placed there just to slow down all the interceptors. I'm gonna keep my eye on it, because it is gonna pop. I'm in the lobby though, don't worry.
Yeah, I'm in the lobby too. Well, people can see me. I'm literally leaning over my other screen to watch it. Yeah, we're in the lobby, but I really want to see the replay. See this a second time around. The interceptors were out on both sides initially, because MaxPax was attacking the rocks with interceptors. So everyone had their interceptors ready to rock and roll.
Time Warp.
This is the longest 2 minutes ever.
Did MaxPax not have vision? He targeted the mothership first? That's what it looks.
He had revelation on the whole army, though. He pre-revelated it. I think Max.
But
great question, really.
Even watching it back, I'm still a bit like, why? How? It felt like.
Need a Protoss expert up in here, man.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to ShoWTimE though. You know, going absolute into MaxPax's game and making it look like it was his game as well. Like, very nicely done. Alrighty, spawning over in the bottom left of Alcyone, it is Systorm Gaming's MaxPax.
This is the moment where I wait for Twitch chat to give us like a good suggestion of maybe what happened. I was like, yeah, actually that makes sense. Literally no one knows. In the top right slide, up 1-0. The blue Protoss player is ShoWTimE.
Crazy. It really just looked like ShoWTimE's units just did so much more damage to the carriers.
Must have killed the right units. I guess because he didn't kill the mothership as quickly. Right, because I think you did target the mothership for a long time as MaxPax at first, and it takes a while to die. And so because of that, ShoWTimE's targeting down carriers.
Guardian Shield. Dude, I think the Guardian Shield was also better for ShoWTimE. Like, it stayed alive for a long time in this fight. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
That's crazy that has so much of an impact. That's the thing, like, if I could understand that would maybe give him a bit of an edge, but like, this was a complete slam dunk, you know? He didn't lose anything. Yeah. His supply didn't move.
It was actually huge, yeah. I'm looking at a lot of it now. Like, MaxPax's army, I don't see the Sentry Guardian Shields there, and that is such a big deal.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the Guardian
Shields,
they clearly know Guardian Shield's important because they both had Guardian Shield ready for the fight. They both had a Sentry in the army. But yeah, if that could very well be the difference. It's just there's so much going on at once. It's like Time Warps, Revelations, Overcharges, and everything. I don't think targeting the mothership helped too much either. I don't think there was an upgrade advantage, was there? I think it was even at the point of fighting.
I think MaxPax went as soon as his like +2 finished on attack and stuff, and it was just
even. Well, ShoWTimE up 1, and MaxPax gonna expand.
Round two.
Yeah.
This is great. This is great.
Sometimes this is what the PvP looks like between these guys.
Yeah, both heading into very mirrored builds, and that's cool, man. Like, ShoWTimE took that fight very confidently as well. Like, he knew when to sacrifice a few of his Phoenix and knew when to just say, hey, I'm going to kill a few of my probes as well. Oh, MaxPax with the Oracle choice this game. How do you feel about this one?
Cool little switch up, right? I mean, something a little bit different. I don't hate it. I think it's a fine thing to mix up for. Oftentimes the Oracle can be a cool little way to kind of play. It's going to keep ShoWTimE at home. If ShoWTimE isn't at home, it's potential to get some damage in as well. Yeah, I think it's fine. I like it. I like switching up a little bit. I don't think being down 1 Phoenix is the end of the world.
No, me neither. I mean, that single Oracle, even if you do open against Phoenix, it's really not that bad. Like, that Oracle, if it gets in and just deals a little bit of damage in this scenario, which looks like it will. Really looks like it will. It's flying into the main now, and tell you what, ShoWTimE's probably got a little twitch of the head there. Oi, oi, oi.
Yeah, the Oracle will go down, at least no recall out, but 7 probes. Pretty huge. ShoWTimE is going to know that. I mean, right now, ShoWTimE's army supply 3 Phoenix to the 1. He does have a chance to actually just go across the map and get something done. He's absolutely going to have to, and he does have the Adept and the Zealot on the ground as well, so there is potential they deal damage because the Phoenix and MaxPax can't go lifting up a ground unit right now. Like, they just don't have the time to do that. So ShoWTimE comes in, he misses the Phoenix to the side. He's going to go for a probe. Now it's 3-on-3. That was a missed opportunity. He could have fought 3-on-2 initially. I guess they would have ran to a battery, though, so probably wouldn't have done too much. Now it's 4-on-3, and he's able to count the Stargate a little bit. But again, those batteries are going to make it very difficult, and this is actually an opportunity where the Adept gets lifted, but it gives ShoWTimE time to get rid of some probes, so he's undoing a little bit of the income lead of MaxPax.
Very different start this game. Very different. Like, MaxPax kind of playing a little bit, I want to say, unorthodox for him, going for that Oracle first, but holy cow, has it paid off. Getting a lot of probe damage. Now, ShoWTimE isn't down and out by any means, but he's definitely behind, which is not where you want to be, and it is 2 Stargates already up for MaxPax. He's sitting quite comfortably here. Is suffering from a supply block, which will slow him down. Tell you, I like these PvPs, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely just a completely different kind of, especially when these two play, they're so happy to play into the Stargate on Stargate. A lot of people will avoid this against ShoWTimE or MaxPax because they know that they're just so good at it. And you kind of saw like they're both really good at it because they both really match each other for a long time in that one. So it's going to be seeing that Phoenix getting a little pro kill there, clearing that out. And the Phoenix and MaxPax lingering. He is up by one Phoenix right now, but obviously if ShoWTimE's defensively positioned, he should be okay.
And despite all the eco damage being done on either side, ShoWTimE's caught up on the probes now. They're very, very close on the probes, actually, 41 versus 42. MaxPax is in a aggressive posture here, and you might be wondering, like, why the big stacking there? It very often means all your Phoenix can shoot at the same time. It's also very hard to know exactly how many Phoenix your opponent has. It just... This... Like, StarCraft 2 is a volatile game at the best of times, and this is one of those where it's like, oh my goodness, one wrong move, one blink of an eye, and everything can go awry.
Well, Phoenix still chilling. Got that fleet beacon coming up on either side. The Nexus coming in from MaxPax. Just gonna get all those Phoenix on the way, and with the fleet beacons coming up, it's just ShoWTimE. He's a little bit later to get to the third. It's going to be a bit of a struggle because MaxPax is out there with the Phoenix. Although ShoWTimE, actually getting around the bottom side of the map with this Phoenix could get kind of interesting. MaxPax is feeling it out, though. He's heading back down there himself, so he's realized what's up.
Yeah, MaxPax with some sixth sense here, like moving back on the map. Maybe he's like, wait a minute, you haven't taken this third over here? Like, I'm very far ahead. Like, my Oracle did so much, and he is caught in kind of no man's land here in the middle. But remember, ShoWTimE isn't exactly in a position where he's like, oh yeah, you're obviously here. And I tell you what, this is huge. And I love the fact that he recalled that quickly.
Yeah,
like he had no idea where these Phoenix were, and he just played it safe.
Yeah, he knows he's playing with fire, making a move like that. So he gets in, he gets 5 probes, that's all. Recalls out, and you know what? It's enough to even up the work count right now. Offset a little bit of the third base timing as well, so I think he's okay with it.
The one thing that MaxPax knows that he's going to be ahead on, at least for a small window, is 10 seconds. Anion pulse crystals right now. Like that. In fact, the time is gone already. It's gone already, and he's going to start dealing damage to these probes. But he has to be careful, because if you're lifting up a probe, and all your Phoenix shoot that probe, and the Phoenix fly in right on you right there and then, you've lost the fight. You've potentially just lost the game.
Yep. No, you're right. It's so tense. Like, it's such a high intensity when you play in this Phoenix on Phoenix. There's a mothership from ShoWTimE already starting up, by the way, so he will make that investment. That is a cost, as it is MaxPax to get the first volley off there, so he actually nets himself an extra Phoenix kill. Now we're going to go in again, and I believe that was again MaxPax doing decently. It's still only a 1 Phoenix kill difference, 4-3, as we're basically just trading Phoenix for Phoenix every single time we shoot right now, so not a big difference at all. I mean, ShoWTimE's down by a couple. Of course, he's going to have that mothership a little bit sooner. Now MaxPax started his own mothership. And it is wild to see just how much this mirrors.
It really is. MaxPax is going to start moving out to try and take a 4th base. I'd imagine ShoWTimE's going to be on the case as well. Right now, they do not want to be getting the upgrades just yet, because it doesn't matter. Like, you get +1, it doesn't really change the outcome of how many hits these Phoenix take, but having that mothership online early, and you can just place probes aggressively, or pylons aggressively in this kind of situation, making the 4th base a little bit slower. But ShoWTimE isn't expanding like MaxPax thinks he's going to expand, actually.
Yep. Oh, cloaking comes up.
That's big.
That's huge, and he's in range for a long time as well. Wow, that was a big deal. He obviously ran out of the cloaking range at some point, though, so the Phoenix started to take shots back. But yeah, good jump from ShoWTimE, able to benefit from that. And that is a big deal as he starts the 4th base on the upper left-hand side. MaxPax's 4th coming online. MaxPax's own mothership now coming up too. Again, we're getting to the point where detection is needed. So we already have the Observer out for ShoWTimE, the Oracle from MaxPax. It's funny that that's the one difference that they've really got between them, right? Where ShoWTimE really wants the Obs, whereas MaxPax just says the Oracle is good enough for me. It's so interesting that for everything else they've timed out so similarly in this like mirror, that is like a definite like, oh, I'm gonna do this and you're gonna do that kind of difference.
Yeah, and right now, with the way that this is going. Now they're switching into the upgrades. With the carriers coming online, their high armor units, getting out as much damage as possible is a big deal, especially when each carrier, 8 interceptors, each one shoots twice. This is when upgrades matter. Both of them are on 4 bases. ShoWTimE does have that rich gas available, which will run out faster, obviously, but means you need less probes to saturate. This is as neck and neck as this game has been. Like, this is, again, a really cool one out of them. But if I'm MaxPax, and I'm in this situation against ShoWTimE again, where I kind of threw my lead a little bit, or rather got caught off guard by ShoWTimE's speed on getting that mothership out, I'm going to start worrying a little bit. Oracle, boy, boy, boy.
Dives in, 4 probes, 5 probes, 6 probes, man, it comes in and shows up again. The carrier pops out, but it will not get it before the recall, so ShoWTimE loses a few workers. I don't think that's the end of the world territory right now. We're both on the way to upgrades. MaxPax is again a little bit behind on upgrades. He has not started shield upgrades either here, so that's an advantage to ShoWTimE, but MaxPax is pushing, and he does have a little bit more, but ShoWTimE gets the jump on him straight away, and we're actually going to dive through there. It's dangerous. Going to shoot down a few interceptors. Equal Phoenix count. 1 carrier down for ShoWTimE at the moment, but of course we've got more in production.
So cool that at this point, when my Terran brain is like carrier, 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 these guys are like, still having a lot of Phoenix out and about is really important. Like, they're still both producing Phoenix at this point while sprinkling in the carriers, which is, you know, crazy to me, but it just shows how important they are. ShoWTimE doing very good at starting his +2, nice and early as well. This little cannon rush attempt over here from ShoWTimE was very fun to see. Carriers being pretty much the only unit that shoots down besides the mothership.
Yep. That's very true. That's the kind of like added ground army. There's those sentries, by the way. Sentries, time warps. I'm expecting those to be big factors in this big fight, as we got a taste of last time around. We just have still the army of MaxPax repositioning back out to the center. Still holding this middle of the map as MaxPax's vibe at the moment.
Alrighty, alrighty. The dust, it's yet to truly settle here. Like, both these players have been testing the water. MaxPax is far more in the center of the map, and it does look like he's looking for a fight here. Oh, gets to catch some moving over carriers. That's probably just what he was looking for, and ShoWTimE heads on back home here. Not losing too much besides that. Very fortunate, actually. That could have been, like, let's say 3 carriers flying over at that moment in time, and that would have been absolutely brutal.
Yeah, that could have been rough, so can get away with a little something there. And it is still ShoWTimE. He's just a carrier behind on the map then. Building 4 against the building of 2, though, and he is way ahead on +2 air weapons. Already has the shield upgrade, remember, too, so little differences. Starts the +2 on the shields as well. Has the Twilight Council to enable that. That's something MaxPax still needs to build into.
Oi, 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 they're getting close, they're getting close, and shield batter, or rather, sentries, they don't pop off at all, and this fight, this one looks better for MaxPax this time, right? I mean, lots of damage. He's the one with the Guardian Shield this time. Nothing on the side of ShoWTimE, and oh my goodness.
These fights are just bonkers, right? Like, it all comes down to how you initiate, and the initiation is such a big deal. The Phoenix count's still there a little bit for ShoWTimE on the tail end of this. He's trying to make something of it, but not sure it's going to be enough. He's shooting down just interceptors now, which isn't really killing supplies, just wasting a tiny bit of minerals. He's got his own carrier showing up, but just not sure if he's got the numbers. He would love to get rid of this mothership before more spell casting comes off of it, but now we've got to back away. He's getting his carrier targeted, and MaxPax is going to tie us up 1-1, as this time, yeah, he got the better fight, man. He got the better fight to start this one off.
It is so funny. When you see these fights happening, you're like, oh, he's got Guardian Shield. He doesn't.
You know,
oh, it's over.
You know, it's so confusing, though, because, like, we've got, like, time warps, and then it's, like, Guardian Shields look like time warps, and it's, like, I don't know what's what. I don't know if that's a ShoWTimE time warp or a Guardian Shield. Like, it's extremely difficult to parse what's happening in these fights. Yeah, that's kind of a crazy time. As we're going to go to Golden Orb at Game 3. I can see this happening again, man.
Oh, me too, me too. I get the feeling that ShoWTimE thought he was more behind that game than he actually was. Like, it felt like he was doing things where he's like, oh, I have to make this move, right? And then I don't think he really did. He did have a big upgrade advantage. I want to say big. The timing was there, but he fought when it wasn't there, maybe assuming that MaxPax was just further ahead than he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of thought. Yeah, I think given a bit of time, ShoWTimE gets in a better spot because like upgrades were like faster for him. He has +2 shields on the way. I think MaxPax knew he had the opportunity to try and take a fight, and I feel like that's probably what he felt in the first game as well. By being the aggressor, you initiate the fight. It's probably easier to be like the initiator versus the counter initiative, right? Because if you pop your things too soon and the other guy hasn't actually committed into you, you lose, right? Like that's just no good because then they'll just follow up when you don't have the spellcast available. So I wonder if that's something about it, like why MaxPax kind of felt so confident the first time around in game 1 as well. As Golden Aura will be map number 3 to decide this. Again, lots of 2-1s today. Skillet Spirit 2-1, Raynor Hearthstone 2-1, ShoWTimE MaxPax will be 2-1. In these qualifying matchups, winners go through to the playoffs.
Definitely, and both these guys, a lot of the other one, I can't imagine not having it because, yeah, they must both look at the other one as the other best Protoss in Europe. MaxPax absolutely been making a huge blast on the scene ever since pretty much 2011 or something, or 2021, sorry. I'm living in a time machine, Wardy. Spawning over in the top left-hand side, representing Sidestorm Gaming, it is MaxPax.
Bottom right-hand side, our blue Protoss, it is ShoWTimE.
Do you think this kind of PvP style with this one gate expand is going to be what we see a lot more of?
Yeah, I think the one gate expand is becoming a lot more popular. I think the problem is if you open double gate, but you want to play a macro game and you don't want to like fight, like opening double gate, there's not much you can do because like one gate build in a couple centuries is so powerful. So the double gate can't do much unless you're then going to commit to aggression. So if you just want to expand, you don't really need the second gateway anymore. I mean, you can obviously still expand off the second gate. We see people doing it, but I think as people get more comfortable, this will be the absolute way we kind of move forwards with it. Of course, if you go double gate, you can threaten the idea of maybe being aggressive and then actually just expand yourself so you can play some mind games on your opponent, right? So there's a lot of kind of guesswork in terms of how that might pan out in that regard, as that's Nexus from MaxPax before Cybercore. So that's a little switch up there.
That's a big switch up. And getting away with that automatically, if I'm in ShoWTimE shoes, I'm like, all right, he's going to be ahead eco-wise. What do I do? And then doesn't go for his own Nexus this game. He's like, you know what? Second gate. This might be a proxy robo game or something like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I think he's realizing, like, hey, he thinks I'm just gonna, like, exactly what we're just talking about, right? Like, hey, I'm gonna play some mind games on you, you know, I'm gonna look like I expand, but then MaxPax will see the second gateway, so he's gotta know some amount of aggression is coming his way. Obviously, the proxy on the left side will show us exactly what it's going to be. We're in position to drop it down right now. It is indeed a robo facility. That's your favorite PvP build,
this sell-up, though.
Yeah,
this sell-up. Oh, it's not going that way, though. I'm looking at its trajectory. I mean, if he runs there with the probe, he could give the game away. Yeah. Oh, he could. Oi. Brutal.
Treachery. That's all it finds it. We will go build another pylon here. You need to keep power on these structures, so I don't think it makes any sense to not put the other pylon down. I mean, your own unit will be coming across the map shortly, but yeah, I think it's too risky not to put it down. Stalker showing up from MaxPax as well, so yeah, ShoWTimE, get it down while you can, and now your own Stalker will show up. We'll get the advantage there. The first hit going your way. The Stalker continues to chase the probe, by the way, so a little bit of action on that. First pylon does go down. The second pylon will be finishing shortly. Then the robo can begin to build. And we just need another unit here ASAP so we can realistically keep this pylon alive. Because we do not want to let this up, not in the slightest. Probe actually comes in for one more pylon just in case.
This is actually really bad for ShoWTimE. Like, or rather, really annoying for him. The fact that he's had to commit a third pylon now to get this going, and you look at that, MaxPax is going to have more Immortals on the field while having a natural expansion as well. And Stalker trade going out, it's better for MaxPax at this point. A third pylon going down as well. That resource loss tab does not lie. It really doesn't. And ShoWTimE is just so slowed down here. This is so... Is he even going for a robo bait here?
Yeah, this is kind of the crap it hasn't worked kind of build where Now all of a sudden you're going to start heading into the yeah, now you're going to start heading into the disruptor and just hoping you can get a really good disruptor shot to dislodge your opponent and maybe still win a fight. That's pretty much the only route you can take here, I guess, because he knows attacking in aggressively just isn't going to be working out for him. So he will poke and prod, but there's 2 immortals already there. So yeah, we're going to be relying on the disruptor to try and do something to save the day, as we have a nice catch back and forth.
That was actually not as bad for ShoWTimE as I thought it was going to go. Like, seeing the 2 immortals there, you're like, well, that's not good for me. But I mean, he still does have 2 targets to go with here, like the main and the natural, especially with like having these adepts in the mix. And disruptor, you never know. You never know. And I do worry though, because that single probe there with that first Celot, it really felt like that did give the game away quite a chunk.
Yeah, it really ruined the kind of the surprise factor. The sooner you know about it as the opponent, the better it is to respond to, right? Yeah, the disruptor has to be MVP and beyond right now. It needs to get some huge shots off. It needs to open the door for ShoWTimE to succeed. Gonna build a second one as well, but I mean, there's still you're definitely kind of grasping at straws still as ShoWTimE. Like, this is gonna give you the best shot at it, but you're still gonna need those shots to connect. This is not gonna be a guarantee by any stretch of the imagination. This is nice. I mean, he's getting rid of a few probes, so this harassment is being a success story, and you know, success is, you know, something you much need right now. As the Prism will go to the corner. Obviously, he's going to be stuck over there a little bit as the Immortals going to be in the front here. The Adepts are going to be fighting the Immortals, just targeting down the Stalkers. The Disruptors are just not going to reveal themselves. Just going to hang back.
Whichever fight the Immortals are in, when the Immortals are not there, they're going to win, right? Like, they're just such a good unit to have. And MaxPax is now up to 4 Immortals here, Wardy. He can juggle. Those Disruptors, it's one shot apiece. Like, they have so much banking on them. He can... Oh, first shot picks off a Stalk, but that's not what you're looking for. He's looking for far more than that, and these Disruptors can take it out before the shot lands. It doesn't do it. It's 4 Immortals. It's too much.
Doesn't matter.
GG,
the Immortals
well
are
MaxPax.
way too good in this situation, and they are going to get the series victory for MaxPax. Couple of PvP air toss games that kind of go here, there, and everywhere. A couple of different players get a very quick win.